Hey everybody, welcome back to Zippy Industries. Big update today on the Born Free Texas bike. All right, so the Shovelhead major fabrication is complete. All right, finally, right? So we'll do an update real quick, and then we're gonna start tearing it down and do disassembly. Still have some finish welding to do on some of the frame pieces and some other stuff, but for the most part, all the major shit is done. So I'm super happy about that. But anyway, we'll go over what we've done since last time you all were on here. Got our sissy bar done. We made some little flush mount deals, right? So this thing mounts to the outside. Originally I had this on the inside, but our brake line wouldn't clear. So the brake line here wouldn't have been able to clear because this bar was inside here, so we wouldn't have had enough room. Anyway, that's beside the point. So now we're on the outside. It's not as clean as I would like for it to be, just because of how it is. Because I was hoping to have the axle plates open, but it is what it is. So got our, I think it's Revolution light or Revival. I don't know what. Anyway. 69 light there for the 69. All right, got our foot clutch all done up. Still got to put a bushing in this side, but it is complete. All right, we have a stop back here so it can't go back, and it's all good to go. So we need to do a little trimming on our deal here. All right, the inside needs to be trimmed out. For the most part, it's done. The pulley will go on further, right? So once we get, I have the right bolts for it. They're just not in right now, so it's bottoming out. So our tank is done, right? So we upgraded our seat post. I don't remember the name of these, but anyway, got their seat post and the stainless springs. I was gonna make these out of stainless just so the paint wouldn't come off, right, where we put our springs on. But I found these and it saves me a lot of time, so fuck it. Oil tank is done. All right, so got our stainless seat post, goes into our seat post tube there, like so. Come on. All right, and then our springs go on. Did get our upper motor mount done. This was really the last big piece that I was trying to figure out. I was trying to do something that would be nice and clean and didn't look like complete shit. And this is what we came up with. It does fit the motor, right? So it's a little tighter on the front, but that's the way the motor is. All right, nice little down spot. All right, and then our 1/2x13 bolt, which that's a temporary bolt, of course. Klaus the Destroyer out here getting in the way like usual. This front end is not going to go on if you've seen the other videos. If you haven't, look up there and I will show you the front end that's going to go on it. All right, got our brake done. All right, so very simple. Little bracket up here, everything clears. There's an arm under here, right, and then runs back, and we have our master cylinder. So originally I was going to put the master cylinder in here, but it's really kind of cluttered in there, and trying to get that in there was more trying to figure out really how to mount it in here and make it work nicely and look good, was the issue. But we have this tube back here. I wasn't really wanting to put it back here so everything is clean, but it is what it is, and this is where it's going to live now. So got our lower bracket for our fender. That's all done. All right. Yeah. So the Super E is not going to be what we're running. We're going to run the dual throat or two throat. Right. So we have this two throat. We'll send it off. I'm gonna get it polished. Right. So it'll be full polished up. You know, it is a show bike. Right. Yeah. A show bike that we're gonna beat the piss out of after it's done being shown. I intend to ride the shit out of this thing. So, yeah. Anyway, got our, this is from After Hours Shoppers. I think that's good, a doorknob, but pretty happy with it. I think it fits in well with this tank, with the way it is. So, also, don't mind the mess here. This is the riser we're gonna run. We're not gonna run those ones that are on it, the old cast riser. And I built some new Z-bars, all right, that are split. So I need to polish these, all right. They will go in here, and that's what we're gonna run. We have our internal throttle here. This is an Exile piece that we will run for that. Still gotta finish that stuff up, but that's fine. The big thing is I have 2 days to get this thing torn down and finish welded and the frame metal finished, because it's going to the painter in a couple days. We are driving 12 hours up to New Hampshire to go to Depth of Image, right? Barry, if you don't know who he is, he's on Instagram, Depth of Image. He painted the tank on our Sportster that we recently sold, so appreciate that, Luke. Enjoy. And then yeah, we're gonna get all this done. The gas tank does still have some work to do. I have some ribs and shit we're gonna put on here. This is gonna be polished out, and you'll have to see what that looks like at the end. There's still a lot of welding to do on that tank, and but overall I'm really happy with how the tank's turned out. So anyway, there's still a couple pinholes I gotta fix, but the oil tank is tight, so there's that. But anyway, the frame still needs a lot of work, right? We gotta get rid of this, like this tab. You know, we gotta do all the metal finish on our where we welded it, right? Because we went like 2.5 up, 4 up, some shit like that. Gotta blend all this out, all right? Get rid of all this shit that we don't need. Make the frame look nice, so that way it can be painted. We were gonna run a P-pad, right? We do have this one we got from River Seat. Yeah, River Seat. Anyway, we were gonna run that to kind of fill this out. The problem is the thing is not contoured for that fender at all, right? It was sewn flat, and the fucking foam is right up against the bottom, so it doesn't contour. So yeah, so you would have this big gap, and it would drove me nuts. And this is straight leather, which means it's going to rub the paint off, because you can already see where it was, right? And it's already got metal transfer. That's just from that fender. You can see where it's been rubbed and stuff. So anyway, we do have another high shoulder with a 3-inch Firestone for the front. A little wider front tire for that girder. We'll see how it looks. We do have the 275 that's on this one, so we'll if the 3 is too wide, we'll swap for this 275 and be done with it. This is what we're going to run on the back, so that's all good to go. I might still put a foot peg here, a little guy, so I have something to rest my foot on when I'm using the clutch. It's not too bad. For right now, we'll probably leave it alone, but in the future we might fix that. I do like how this looks with that. So anyway, yeah, enough yammering. One thing we do have to do, once the front end gets back, we have to make a headlight post for that, a headlight mount. I wasn't able to get the mount done before it left, mainly because I wanted it out of here expeditiously. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know the headaches we had with a chromer on the Sportster bike. So our new guy, I didn't want to run into the time issues, so I sent that shit out as soon as possible so that we had absolutely make sure we had plenty of time to get it done. He's not gonna let me down. He's a solid dude, so I don't have any issues with that. Also, he's gonna be doing all of our polishing too, so this is all gonna get polished. The exhaust, we're probably gonna get it polished. I'm gonna grind all these welds down and then we'll polish it out, or at least clean them up and then send it out. And then this is all polished, polish, 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 polish. yeah, it's gonna be something. We did new rocker boxes that we got from Paper Street. Ryan at Gore did those. He did a diamond pattern in them. They're in the house, but you'll see them later. They're polished out. I don't know if we're gonna run those or if we're gonna do our split boxes. I really like these, and I would like to run them, but I did build them for this motor. So we're probably gonna keep them on here, mainly because they're done, right? But I did think about taking these off and getting them polished too, and having them done up for that bike. So we might do that later, or we might leave it silver. Anyway, we'll see what kind of timeline we have for while this thing's gone. We pretty much have all of August that this thing's gonna be a paint. So we might work on the cone shovel. Hi, dude. You want to say hi, Klaus? Always in the way. Needs lovin's all the time. Anxiety dog, but he has anxieties. Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, so that's the update on the bike. Let's enough of my rambling. Let's tear it apart. All right, there we go. So in real time, that took about 45 minutes. All right, so got a little choppers. Ain't no shit on them. So this is all our parts for the most part. Some stuff still needs to be refined a bit, right? We still need to work on it, but we need to do some finish welding on here. I need to finish this top bar. I welded this the other day whenever I redid these tabs. All right, and we did our seat here. So need to weld this bottom bar on, all right, with the bungs and whatnot, and get all this welded in. So that all is all that's left. All right, so those two bars, and I gotta weld our motor mount in. All right, everything else is welded. We just need to grind them down and metal finish these so that Barry can do his thing with the paint, and then gotta knock these guys out. And then up here we're going to clean all this up. This is all going to get cut off, and then we'll just have this. Also, one other thing, we got to put a rear mount for our gas tank. All right, so still haven't done that. We had changed it. I had a tab off of here, and then we changed how we were doing stuff. So yeah, that's where that tank was sitting. Anyway, back here we need to put our mount on. Right, got this from Hardtail over at John over at Hardtail Choppers. Same people we got our plates from. So this will go on here after I cut that off. All right, so we'll put that on there and we'll weld it on, and then we'll be good to go back here. So yeah, but that's gonna do it for now. Next time you all see this thing, probably about a month. All right, we will be back from paint and we will be putting it together. So stay tuned for that. Also, the motor is going to be going up to Barney Bowman up at Barnstormer on Instagram. He's going to go through our motor. We might stroke it. I don't know. We might just do a basic rebuild. It's supposedly rebuilt, but at one side of the crank has like a good 1/16 of an inch of play in it, in and out, which is not good. So anyway, we'll see what we actually find inside this thing, but that's going to do it for now. Take care and stay tuned.